Boyd Matson and National Geographic explorer.
Piecing together prehistoric events can be tricky. Of course, fossils can show us a lot about the world of our ancestors, but there are plenty of gaps that remain a mystery. Scientists agree the earliest humans originated in Africa and later migrated elsewhere. But recently, our understanding of how and when that happened has been challenged by a new discovery. Our ancestors may have departed at a much earlier stage of human development than scientists thought possible. Because at the crossroads of Europe and Asia, in the Republic of Georgia, paleoanthropologists have uncovered what could be the oldest human remains found outside of Africa, 1.8 million years old, forcing them to rethink nothing less than human evolution.
In the former Soviet Union, a remarkable discovery challenges our understanding of human origins. Far from the homeland of our earliest ancestors, beneath a medieval churchyard, 2 million years of human evolution are being redefined.
Some of the most remarkable discoveries have been complete accidents. People have been looking for something else.
It shakes our understanding of who we are and where we came from. It began as a simple dig for medieval treasures, when suddenly prehistoric animals appeared. Mammoths and saber-tooths. Then, primitive stone tools. Most spectacular of all, human skulls, nearly 2 million years old, from a time when no humans were thought to have left Africa.
Sort of like winning not just one lottery, but sort of 3 lotteries at once.
More and more, we have looked to Africa to understand our origins. A powerhouse of innovation and diversity, perhaps nowhere on Earth has given rise to so many different kinds of creatures. It is here our ancestors evolved from apes to ape men around 4 million years ago. Then we appeared.
2 million years ago, there was a total transformation in humanity, and a new species appeared, a new line, totally different than anything before it. That's the human line.
This new human line was identified 40 years ago at Olduvai Gorge in East Africa by the famed archaeologists Louis and Mary Leakey. They called him Toolmaker, or Homo habilis. The Leakeys' discovery left little doubt that we evolved from ape to man in Africa. And their little Homo habilis was supposed to have stayed. It would be left to much bigger-brained cousins who evolved later to venture out of Africa. Or so the anthropologists thought. But then came the spectacular finds outside the tiny village of Dmanisi, Georgia, a former Soviet republic at the crossroads of Europe and Asia.
When you're asking me what is the importance of Dmanisi, one of the main importance is that it shook people. It shook theories. It shows that science is active.
David Lord Kipinitsi never set out to shake up the scientific establishment with the excavations he heads up. But much like the Leakeys, a talent for fantastic discoveries seems to run in his family. David's father, Attar, earned international acclaim when he dug up the treasures of a legendary city in Georgia, now housed in the State Museum. The city is believed to be the site of the ancient Greek myth of the Golden Fleece. His father's discoveries lit a fire in young David's life.
My dream was always to work. If they will allow me to work, this was my biggest chance and biggest happiness.
Now David's dreams have been realized, but on a scale neither he nor his father ever imagined.
Here was found earliest undisputable humans out of Africa. That's it.
The first evidence appeared in 1983 during a routine search for medieval relics beneath a churchyard. Suddenly, an unlikely find, a rhinoceros tooth. What followed were bones of animals long extinct. Mammoths and saber-tooths told of a time when Georgia must have been much like East Africa.
These people were excavating a medieval village 1 minute, and then 5 minutes later they were finding potentially sort of 2 million or 1.8 million year old fossil.
But the animals were not alone. Stone tools came next by the thousand. The search became a quest to find the humans who made them. Then, in 1991, it happened.
Suddenly, it's last day of excavations. We are finding this human jaw.
The jaw looked like fossils found in Africa, and only in Africa.
I remember very well the reaction. All the big names of paleoanthropology, which I heard before from the books, I saw together on this meeting. And their reaction was mainly, it's impossible.
Impossible. But in 1999, 2 human skulls emerged. Then, 2 years later, with support from the National Geographic Society, the most astonishing find of all emerged. It was a 3rd skull, beautifully preserved and even more primitive. All of the skulls dated to a staggering 1.8 million years old. The discovery forced scientists to reconsider who left Africa first and when. It all goes back to Leakey's Homo habilis. The little tool makers were scavengers with small brains. Although they stole prey from large animals to survive, they didn't have sophisticated tools for hunting. Those who did hunt evolved later. Famously known for their hand axes and upright gait, they were called Homo erectus. All evidence since Leakey's time has pointed to the more sophisticated Homo erectus, with his greater physical and mental abilities, as the first to venture out of Africa. But Dmanisi may prove otherwise. What astonished scientists was how similar the tools of Dmanisi were to the tools that Leakey discovered in Olduvai Gorge.
The Dmanisi toolkit is as simple as you could possibly imagine. It is plain and simply smashed rock. If you take pieces of stone and hit them on each other, some of the pieces you'll make are sharp edges, and it's those sharp edges that people wanted.
The Dmanisi people appear to live in much the same way as Leakey's first humans in Africa.
It shows that people left Africa almost immediately after they became people, not long after.
Inch by inch, Dmanisi has kept the scientific community holding its breath. And barely 1/5 of the site has been excavated.
This site is not going to go away because it's going to be prolific. We can see that they have discovered in Georgia something like Olduvai Gorge.
David expects his next big discovery to be a skeleton, to help answer the burning question of who these people really were. Meanwhile, his team keeps him going with Georgian wine and a toast.
I'm sure we'll find even more this time than last time. If we fail, it's over my dead body. To our continued success.
I don't think many of us would have predicted that we'd have such a remarkable assemblage of finds, not only the human bones, but the fauna and the artifacts from this time period.
Out of these pieces of bone, a new picture of our earliest history is emerging, a picture we never knew existed. David Lord Kipanitsi's discovery has shaken the world of anthropology, yet he's only just begun. The puzzle of our origins will keep him busy for a long time, but that's nothing compared to the millions of years of human history that Dmanisi has to offer the world.
For the full story of Dmanisi, check out the August issue of National Geographic magazine. There you'll find exclusive photos of both human and animal remains that were uncovered. and you'll get the interpretation of the prehistoric story.